Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network for more coverage of the 2020 for Mr. Olympia. We have a side-by-side comparison of our projected 4th through 6th-ish place, depending on where they land, Martin Fitzwater and Hunter Labrada. I'm sure you're excited. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. But if you're new here, consider subscribing. And as we pull these photos up, let's go ahead and start off with, of course, the front double bicep. It's a comparison. You got to start with the front double. And I came into this comparison expecting Hunter to be dominating every single shot, because all over the internet, the entire conversation is Hunter's the best. Hunter's winning every single shot. There's no comparison. Hunter's top 4 in the world. Hunter should be top 3 in the world. I want to see Hunter next to Hottie. I've seen a lot of that. So I was like, okay, there's no way Martin's going to be close to here, right? Not even close. Starting with the front double bicep. Looking at the biceps, looking at the shoulders, looking at the chest, I would say Hunter to start with. Hunter has better biceps. They're thicker, they're more defined, they're more detailed, they're more bulgy, more dense, as well as the tricep sweep is better, more detailed. It pops out more. That's where it stops. Chest, I like Martin's chest better. He has a vacuum and he pops the chest up. I'm not sure why Hunter does the vacuum but then doesn't push the chest forward. He does like a vacuum and then slouches the shoulders forward almost to let the chest collapse to emphasize the arms and the shoulders. I'm not sure of the strategy on that because it does look kind of funny. It completely takes the chest out of the movement unless the pec tear is so severe on that right pec. You can see here technically his left pec. Unless that pec tear is so severe when he does that it pulls away from the rest of the shot. That's the only way I could see that a justification of why they're doing it that way. Midsection, it's not even close. Martin's midsection's way better. It's way tighter. You're going to see through the other shots that the Hunter has a pretty intense issue with the midsection, but Martin's taper, the midsection itself is smaller. The abdominal muscles are better. Moving into the legs, Hunter has bigger legs. There is no denying that. Hunter has a solid set of legs. Not a lot of detail, at least in the left leg, technically his right. But the other leg, you've got a pretty good amount of striations in those quadriceps. Even in that little teardrop around the kneecap is pretty defined, and a good set of calves on it as well. Martin, pretty much all throughout those quads, great thickness, great conditioning, phenomenal separation, but that left leg, technically Martin's right, does seem a tad bit smaller than Hunter's just based off of the posing. But Martin's plant leg, the right leg, technically Martin's left, does look way better than Hunter's. So, although Hunter is bigger and has better arms in the front double bicep, it is a bicep movement, I'm going to give it to Martin for overall completeness. I prefer that look. And hopefully I'm being as impartial as possible. I'm genuinely trying to give Hunter a shot here. Moving into the front lat, you can see Hunter has a pretty full chest, but it's big but shallow. Whereas Martin's is thick and wide. It's got a nice amount of depth to it. They both have similar gyno surgery removal, so you can kind of see the areas chopped out there. No issues here. That's just part of the sport. Hunter's arms look more detailed and more shiny and more thick, so you cannot deny that. Moving into the midsection, both of their midsections aren't great in this shot. I'll be honest. Not a lot of detail. They're both doing a modified version of the vacuum. So you're not going to see a lot of hard, detailed abs like a Hottie or like Samson sometimes. Definitely like Andrew, You're not going to have those crazy detailed abs. You're going to have the Hunter or the Nick Walker-esque abs where they're extended. Moving into the leg department, same conversations we just had. Martin's plant leg, the main leg, his right leg, technically the left that we're looking at, is more detailed, more separation, and I would say even thicker in this shot. Maybe the proportions are off, but that stage line in the back is perfect. So I don't know if you can say that this is distorted or off. Martin's winning the front lat. Side chest. Let's start from the top. Why not? Keep it consistent. Shoulders, pretty symmetrical between the two. I'd say Hunter has bigger delts, though. Cannot deny that. I'd say his arms also look more thick and wider compared to Martin's in this shot. The chest, even with the pec tear, it's not very noticeable. You can definitely see it, but if you're not looking for it, you're not going to see it too much. The back delt is bigger on Hunter's, and the chest overall. The overall chest I'd probably give to Martin. I like that look better, but Hunter is definitely winning most of the portions in this side chest. Midsection, I'd say it's a draw. They hide it very well. In the glutes and hams, Martin has a good glutes, but they're not as big as Hunter's. And then they both have, I'd say, very close hamstrings. It's really apples and oranges there. And in the quads, Hunter actually pulls out a little bit here with more detail in the hamstring, or in the quadriceps, I apologize. Hunter has more detail in the quads as Martin does. So I'd give this shot overall to Hunter. That is as fair as I can be. Back double bicep. I assume this was going to be a blowout for Hunter because everyone says Hunter is huge from the back, but Martin's really not giving up a lot of size here. The only thing he's really giving up is the way he's posing it. Is he's overextending, which hides the lower part of the back, and it also puts more shadow on the rhomboids and the lats, whereas you can't really see it as much. So those things I think are pulling away from Martin's ability to show the physique perfectly in this shot, whereas I have to give this to Hunter because the lighting is shining perfectly on Hunter. He's showing off his great back. There's a lot of detail here. Good symmetry, good conditioning, good bicep peaks. Triceps flow perfectly into the rhomboids and the lats. And I'd even say the lower back is pretty striated. He was doing those Christmas tree shots. I thought they looked phenomenal. So no issues here. I love it. Looks great. Hamstrings and glutes, pretty soggy, pretty soft. You can see the skin rolls underneath the glutes. Just not a lot of detail there at all in the glutes. And the hamstrings, you can see that they're conditioned, but they're not very deep. Whereas Martin's, you have a lot more ridges. You got a lot more of that 3D Phil Heath action in those hamstrings. The piano wires are really showing on both legs. The glutes are more dug out. You can see the cross striations in the lower glutes. And you can see a little bit of skin folding in the lower back, which I'd say is, again, more feedback guided towards the posing that Martin's doing, not so much his actual physique. So for that, I'll give Hunter the back double. Back lat, I wanted to say that I messed up the proportions on this, but you can see that red line. It's pretty straight. So I think Martin just looks this way. So although he overextends and hides that lower back, I don't know if it's on purpose or an accident, but it does not hurt him much in this shot at all. A lot of detail in the rear, in the anterior or posterior deltoids, in that third head there, the rhomboids, the lats sweeping into those huge trap muscles. All that's very symmetrical, very conditioned, not as dense, but I would say denser than Hunter. Hunter actually looks small in the back lat spread next to Martin when you look at the upper body. That's my opinion. Of course, let me know if I'm off here. But Hunter's delts are bigger. So I would give the delt area to Hunter. But overall, in the upper body, the back goes to Martin. And in the lower body, we already talked about this. I think Martin really smokes Hunter here in the lower department with the conditioning and the thickness. So in the in the back double, Hunter gets it. But in the back lat, Martin gets it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. I did not think that that's how this was going to go. And we have the one hands clasped most muscular crab variation. This is one of Hunter's signature shots, and he does this perfectly, hides the pec tear pretty well. A lot of vascularity in the upper body, and I think that's what a lot of the people that aren't paying a lot of attention, that's what they go to immediately. They see all that craziness going on in the biceps and the chest, and they always think this guy's got to be winning these shots. And it completely hides the disaster that's going on in that midsection. There's no detail, no separation. It just looks like pancake mix. I usually say Hunter looks like melted butter. And that's specifically the area right here is that midsection. The legs, good, conditioned, vascular. You can see the cross striations here and there. Pretty deep feathering. All in all, a good shot for Hunter. Outside of that midsection, it's just horrendous. Martin, first Olympia. I think he's got some learning to do with the different shots. I don't think anyone's hitting a shot like this, where he's got the one leg forward excessively. I think that that's not a very good opportunity for him to get good comparisons. So it's overall going to be hurting him in the long run, although it's an amazing shot. You can see all those cross featherings on both heads of those quadriceps are just phenomenal. The midsection is tight. In the very, very middle, you can see a little bit of issues going on there. It's a little loose, but that's more probably of a genetic thing than anything. But good, tight, better than Hunter's. The chest is different. He's hunched over a little bit more, letting the shoulders pull those. I don't even know what it's called. Those cross pec pieces. It's just pulling that, making it look a little different, but unique, good. I like it. Is there anything else? There is not. So that is all the comparisons. If I remember the math right, Martin wins this comparison by 1 point, by one shot. If I was off, let me know down below. If you think I'm way off and Hunter dominates all these shots, let me know down below. Let's have a conversation. Where am I wrong? Where am I completely missing it? Because I don't see what people are seeing. So thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe for more. Shout out to Dragon Pharma for sponsoring the show. And I'll see you beautiful people at finals.